Hi, everybody. This is Courtney Dade, CEO of CSD Marketing and Consulting, and it's time for another episode of the Phoenix Project. I'm so excited today to welcome my next guest. They are financial specialists and community activists. So I'm going to go ahead and let you two introduce yourself and tell the audience your name and what you do and all about you. Like, this is your moment. So we're excited to hear about it.
Okay, well, I'll go first.
Hey, all right.
I'll go first. Thank you, Courtney, for having us. It's an honor to be here with you.
I'm excited.
My name is Lisa Corsair. I'm a native New Yorker of Puerto Rican descent. I was raised in the projects of Brooklyn, New York, by an illiterate mother. My mother was an illiterate, raising 6 children by herself. Excuse me. I'm a mother of 4 and a grandmother of 3 crazy little grandkids. I mean, those kids just drive me insane. But, I'm just kidding. I love those kids. They're my babies, Well, I have an 18-year career background in law enforcement. I'm currently a bilingual financial specialist. I do speak English, as you can tell, and Spanish, se habla español. We're basically helping our communities through culture, art, music, and spreading financial literacy, because our communities are in lack of financial literacy. So that's our mission. All right.
Yay.
So yes, I do have a great passion for finance, culture, art, and music.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's about it for me.
And my name is Hariel Corsair. And my lovely wife and I, we both hail from Brooklyn, New York. We grew up together. Incredibly enough, we grew up in Brooklyn in the same building in the projects. She lived on the 1st floor. I lived on the 3rd floor ever since we were 7 years old. Yeah. And fate would have it that we got married to the wrong people initially. Moved away, but our parents were neighbors in the same building up until a few years ago. So I would come back to New York. I would never see her because I saw her, I saw her family. They were still there, but she had moved away. Then she would come back to New York and she'd see my family, but she'd never see me. And fate would have it, after both of us were in a relationship about, 18 years. And fate would have it that we came back to New York around the same time, and we met, and it's been a wild ride ever since.
This is my favorite story ever. And then you guys work together to bring all this life and love to the community. I love it.
Yes.
I got one for you. I caught the bouquet. I caught the bouquet at his first wedding.
That's the best.
But yes, we did.
Well, we told you.
That's right. That's right. It was foretold.
You should have listened.
But now, yes, we work a lot. We do a lot of community activism. We got here to San Diego about 8 years ago. We got here and we were really kind of connected through music. Came here from New York. We were pretty well connected in the music in New York City. Came out here, and we continued to be connected and still continuing to want to give back to the community. So after being here for 6 months, we actually had a fundraiser for the San Diego Rescue Mission. So we were, by the way, my background, I'm an aerospace engineer. So that's what actually brought us out to San Diego. My job, it was a job transfer. So aerospace engineer for 19 years. And so again, we were here. We were a couple empty nesters. We love music, art, dance, and culture. And we wanted to do something. We wanted to give back. So we had a fundraiser for the San Diego Rescue Mission, met with the president, CEO, sat with him, and he says, this is the first time somebody's actually just come to us and said, hey, look, we would like to have an event and raise money for the cause. And he was moved by that. Right? So here's an interesting fact. The first time that we met you, right?
Yeah.
The president CEO of the San Diego Rescue Mission was at that same event.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. So it's incredible how good people travel in the same circles, And so yeah, we always wanted to give back to the community, and we did. And we would have events. My gosh, we had events here in San Diego that was down in where's Sabor Caliente. We would have an annual.
The gas lamp district.
No,
it was in Candelas. Oh no, you're talking about Theo Leo's?
The event that we do on an annual basis.
Oh, the festival, excuse me. That was in City Heights.
City Heights, the City Heights free event, open to the public.
The pavilion.
With multiple, it was called Sabor Caliente. It was our Hispanic heritage event. And we would open that up to everybody. We had performances, dancers from different Latin American countries. It was fantastic. But that's what we would do in our spare time, So
wow.
But here's a funny thing. I had a really nice job, aerospace engineer, 6-figure income, and we were giving back to the community because that's what we had in our heart. But there was one thing that we didn't realize, right? Even though we were doing some great things, we were basically living today and not planning for tomorrow. And unfortunately, we got into a bad financial situation, got helped. When we got helped, it was just amazing. I said, wow, this is great. Someone who we met at one of our events. And when we saw that we were able to get help, and I said, man, I feel like I get master's degree in engineering and was able to get myself in a bad financial position, right? Because the two are apples and oranges, okay? The more education you have does not mean the better financial situation you're in, okay?
Right.
We don't get financial education. My wife and I said, we got to get out there and we have to learn and teach others financial literacy. And now we're being trained and mentored and developed by some of the leaders in the industry, in the financial services industry, people who've built successful $500,000, $1 million businesses. Okay. So it just so happened that I got laid off as an aerospace engineer for 19 years, same company. All right. Got laid off, but it just so happens that we had already started building our business on a part-time basis. Part-time. I was an engineer by day, and by night we were sitting down with individuals, families, small businesses, helping them to develop financial plans for their future. So I got laid off, and 1 year from any type of retirement, of course. So of course, I don't know. It just, it still rubs me raw. But sometimes they say, you never know when opportunity is going to come knocking, right? So
right.
my plan was to continue to grow my business and maybe fire the boss in like 2021, maybe this year, right? But for some reason, God said no. Now.
Yeah.
And 2 years ago, I got laid off. But it gave us more opportunity, right? It gave us more opportunity to learn more. It gave us more opportunity to do more. It gave us more opportunity to sit down and see and serve more people. And our business has grown. Now we're licensed in 8 different states across the United States, East Coast, West Coast, North, South, and giving us a way to not only build and at the same time serve others and educate others, which is a mission that we carry in our hearts anyway.
Awesome. And it afforded us to be there for our family members during trying times. And we didn't have to worry about going back to the plantation to work for the master because we were free.
Yeah.
So we were able to travel and not worry about coming back. So we were able to just focus on our family members, especially our daughter who had 2 back surgeries in less than a year. She was living in New Jersey. Wow. So we were there through the whole surgery, recovery, rehab. We were there. We were out there, New York, for about 4 months.
So I got licensed in New York.
Yes.
And New Jersey.
New York, exactly.
Exactly. Continue, grow my business, help people.
Business remotely.
Yeah, helping people. Yeah.
which was a
So I have,
blessing.
before you throw more, I have so many things because that was beautiful. So I'd like to back up a little bit and ask, if you started off your business. So first of all, I started my business after a layoff as well. I was in corporate America and I had an option to I had a same thing, 6-figure job, but I felt a little soulless for me. And then I had an opportunity, what do I want to do? And I chose to just take that venture of being an entrepreneur and try it my own. So 10 years later, I'm still here. And at that time, I've also been able to see my son grow. He's 9, so he was born within that. And I didn't have to go to work and drop him off at daycare like I was the daycare. So,
Yeah.
and we homeschool and all those types of things that I would not have been able to do if I decided to go back. So I definitely understand that part of the story. One thing I did want to ask about, so you did all these amazing events, and you're right, we did meet at an event with a great friend of mine, Steph Johnson, and her choir. That's a nonprofit that supports unsheltered people, find their joy and helps them with all these services. And we met there, which is, you're right. And so you guys had these events that you were doing, and then COVID hit. So what was that like for you to have to experience everybody go inside, but your one of your passions is being outside amongst people, serving them through music and culture. So can you kind of tell us what that felt like for you? Because I think that the fact that you guys have a business that grew amongst something that was destroyed essentially is very important for people.
Well, it was a hit in the gut, because it was one of our passions, just getting out there and being here with our people, But at the same time, we just pivoted, just like we pivoted up with our business, and we took it online. So say, for example, we're affiliated with the Clergy Association
of Lemon Grove.
So, and Thrive of San Diego, we're affiliated with them, and we do everything, whether it's gospel music, whatever it is, we're doing everything.
We were
virtually, excuse me.
Yeah,
so
we had
virtually, great.
Yes.
Yeah, we had a plan. We had monthly. So we worked, like she said, with Thrive Lemon Grove and also with the Lemon Grove Clergy Association. And we worked with them, and we put on events down at what's called the Promenade, which is an outdoor area, is kind of in an area which was meant for the community, but it seems as though seedy characters have come in and kind of taken over that area, so it doesn't feel safe for the families living in that, right? So we were working with those organizations, plus with the mayor of Lemon Grove as well, and we were bringing events to the Promenade. So we brought a Black History event there. It was phenomenal. We had multicultural event there with actors and dancers and music from all around the world. We had a Christmas event, and I think there was one more. There was one more event that we had there, but we had several events, and we were planning on doing this on a monthly. As a matter of fact, we were scheduled to start something on Easter Sunday, just basically with the church and playing music, but gospel music and gospel house music and just uplifting music for the community, and working with the local churches as well. So we had all this planned out. And yeah, you said it, COVID hit, and it was like a punch in the gut.
But it's still happening. It's still happening virtually.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys pivoted there, and then you pivoted with your careers into the financial. So you also said something that was very important about financial literacy. So I am one of those people that have, all the education. I have great work experience, but to that fact, I'm a marketer, not a financial person. So one of the things I talk about in my Thursday on Instagram, I do a little show on Thursday. And one of the things I just talked about was being a new agency owner. So as of January, I've hired people, and it's a whole game change. It is so different when you're running your business like your own private personal bank account versus when you have payroll, insurance, and different types of tax liabilities, expenses. That's a whole different ball game. And then really needing to have a cushion inside of your bank account, understanding cash flow, figuring out why people have financial statements, understanding all these things, and then trying to venture into making a plan. Because if anything 2020 has taught us is that we have no idea what's going on, right? We don't know what's going to happen. I'll give just a really personal example. When I started providing healthcare for my employees, because COVID teaches us that healthcare is important. And that one of the things that I decided is out the gate with my employees, I was going to offer healthcare. That was very ambitious for a person that literally ran their business like their bank account, but I was committed to doing it, and I did it. Except that first month, when they hit me twice with the medical twice, and I had enough cushion in my bank account to be able to cover it, but that hurt. That hurt in a big way. And I remembered thinking even about the conversations that we have is, they kind of teach you in personal finance. I don't know where you learn this in personal finance. I feel like I read it somewhere, but it wasn't schooled to me. I don't know where I learned it. So in 40 years, I finally read something about personal finance. They tell you about an emergency plan. And so I had enough of a cushion in the business account for an emergency, which happened, but then I didn't have enough in the bank account for another emergency. So now we're at a place where I'm back to the stockpiling. And so I even know myself wondering for the business, what types of additional accounts and things like that you need to have. And so I loved how you said, the education isn't necessarily teaching you financial literacy, because in our community, but also in small businesses, so many people have started businesses right now. There were so many reasons, just like you got laid off. So many people got laid off, and then they had to make a decision. Am I going back? Some people don't feel safe going back to the old industry they were in. There's so many things going on where people are having to change what they're doing. And our business grew as well because so many people decided, I'm not going back, or it's time for me to start that business. This is the time. I have all this time to plan. And so now they're starting a new business. But here goes. I'm great at coaching people through the pitfalls of business and marketing and business development. But who's there to support people when you're talking about the financials and how to plan for your financial future and how to really gauge and understand the health of your business? And then now they have people are getting a lot of loans, but at some point you're going to have to pay that back. And what does that look like? And do people, the words like valuations of your business? And here's the thing, I can tell you all of these terms, but I don't even know what they all mean. I just know they're important, but that's why I come alongside great people like y'all. And so, yeah, because I'll be honest with it. I don't know I'm a brand new agency owner. I have a coach that helps me get my stuff together. I'm delegating managing people, I know how to sit there and talk to people about marketing and email and website. That's my baby. I'm the strategist. But now you're talking about a whole nother grown-up level of business. And I'm yo, I have no idea what's going on. And so the next tier of that is moving into this financial. So I said all of that to ask, for new business owners or for current business owners that are looking to find more financial security or just even understand what the heck is going on with their business. What are some tools that you would recommend for our small business owners? And before you answer that, it's okay to tell people what they need to do in their personal business, because as entrepreneurs, the division is real light. It's very light, right? So what if I'm in personal financial crisis, my business is not popping. I promise you. It's not, because I'm dipping from it or I'm stressed out and my business is suffering. So if I know that was a bunch of questions and a lot of background, but I would love some information if you guys could kind of help us know just a few tools or things or where you would start or what your recommendations would be as far as, learning financial literacy for small business owners and folks.
It's interesting. That is, it was a mouthful, but you brought out some, interesting points. You talk about yourself and where you came from. Yeah, I was an engineer, right? So I didn't know about all this stuff. This is the stuff that I used to work on. My baby made me this is a turbine blade from a jet engine. And, so she made that for me and put it in epoxy. It's something, it was not stolen from the job, by the way. I just want to disclaim it.
We won't tell. I'm just kidding.
But I came from a mechanical world, and like you said, all of my degrees of higher learning and stuff like that were always based on understanding mechanical things. But yeah, finances, yeah, where do you go for that? And like I said, we had put ourselves in such a bad financial situation that yeah, okay, I had a 6-figure income, but my wages were garnished by the IRS. Who
I
even
did that. I've
huh?
had that happen.
What where the hell do you go to stop that? How do you I don't know. I didn't know. So only by fate, by divine intervention, right? At one of our events, you know, we met someone who we befriended. She just had a vibe that, you know, kind of grooved with. Well, it was Patrina, you know, so you met her, right? 6 foot something with a blonde afro in the club. You know what I mean? It kind of stood out. So, you know, we met her and she came down and we didn't even know what she did. Just so happened we found out she was in financial services. She sat down with us and did a written financial plan. She ran a financial needs analysis. And that right there is the start. Okay, that's the start. Whether you're a small business, individual, family, whatever, do a financial needs analysis, because I tell you what, there are so many financial tools out there. You can't just go chasing one. You know what I mean? I sit down with people all the time, right? And they go, oh, I want stocks. I want stocks. And I go, okay, slow it down here, right? And we look at his financial plan, right? He's running after stocks in a variable market. He may win and may lose over time and all this, right? But he has immediate financial issues that need to be dealt with now, that need to be covered now. Okay. He doesn't have any life insurance on his entire family of 5. You know what I mean? But he wants to just arbitrarily go chase things. Can that happen for people? Yeah, sure it can. It could happen for the 21-year-old guy who's young and who already has a financial plan in place. You know, it happened to my son. My son, look, he's single, he's young, he's United States Air Force. He's got a paycheck coming every, you know, and he doesn't have a lot of expenses. So he just lives as he pleases. So I felt it was my duty to at least say, hey, look, let's sit down and put together a written financial plan for you. Okay. And he was into Bitcoin, you know. Hey, Dad, I made $40,000. Hey, Dad, I lost $36,000. You know. So I said, hey, look, I tell you what. I said, you put a solid foundation plan together where you know that you're going to be planning today for a better tomorrow, right? You get that in place and it's solid. If you have discretionary income, you could go bet it on the ponies or play Bitcoin or whatever you want to do. You win it, that just is an addition to the plan you already have in place. You lose it all. Who cares? You have a solid plan in place. And that's the key thing. A lot of people and businesses are the same way. They go chasing, right? Go chasing things. We talked to this one business who was talking about redecorating the inside. We were talking about the financial plan. You know, where you're looking to see things in the next, 1 to 5 years or over 5 to 10 years. And he says, maybe redecorating, Okay, cool. Well, how much do you think that's going to cost? Maybe around $40,000 or something like that, right? Well, how are you going to fund that? Oh, there's some good loans out there. I'll go out and take a loan okay, let's pump the brakes on that, right? Why don't we put a plan together today so that when that tomorrow comes, I don't know if you'll have all of $40,000. We'll plan for it. Okay, we'll plan for it. If we hit it, great. If you got to take out a $2,000 loan, it's a lot easier to manage. Okay,
right?
But it is key to sit down and understand everybody's financial needs are different, and every business, how it's set up, is also different. So it pays to kind of sit down and have that individual reality check.
So that sounds really important. So that's definitely I can see why that would be in value. And you also talked about giving that other example is there are a lot of loans available right now.
Yes.
And the temptation there is big. And there are a lot of financial experts that will help you get this government loan and that government loan, and they'll slide their little fees in there. But I don't know who's sitting down to tell you about the repayment plan. I'm like, I don't know. This feels a little suspicious.
That part.
Yeah, like, and how are we paying this back? And so that's a great warning. Like, I love that plan. Like, let's look at what you want instead of relying on a loan. Like, let's see how you can build to that. And so I think that does sound really important. So as we move into heading towards this post-pandemic world, so we've had life before. You guys have had a lot of experience, and it sounds like you were already in the financial business before COVID hit. So you already kind of had your foot in there and just was able to accelerate and pivot and go mobile and virtually and all these beautiful things. So now that we're moving more towards, reopenings are coming, and assuming like cash flow will be, people are, as they go back to work and industries start to pick back up. I don't know if they'll be fast or slow, but the money will start to circulate again. Is there anything specifically that you guys are warning your clients for, or things to look out for, or opportunities that you see that may be available that people should take advantage of right now?
Oh my gosh. Wow. All right. We just had training the other day, right? From a dentist. He's a dentist. He's here in Southern California. He's got 2 offices, right? So yeah, 3 offices. His main office is in 2 other offices. So anyway, he took advantage of a business opportunity. He's a business owner, okay? Business owner. And he saw the business opportunity and he said, wow. He says, hey, look, he's doing okay in this time of need, but he's like bare bones minimum. Why? Because, okay, he's a dentist and he has 3 offices, but he also has overhead for 3 offices. He also has employees. He also has, he has a lot that he has to do and he has to make. Right. Yeah. So he saw our business opportunity. He jumped on board. So he gave training last week. Right. So I'd never seen him before. He's in the LA area, but interesting, his mindset. He joined the business because he understood the multiple ways. And these are things that business owners look for, right? Mm-hmm. They look for a sound, reputable company. He says, okay, wow, you guys represent 75% of the Fortune 500 financial institutions, banks, and insurance companies, right? Wow, pretty strong. Then he looked at the pay, right? How's the compensation looked? And from a business owner standpoint, he was very impressed, okay? Because he understands as a dentist, one way we get paid, right. Okay? We're licensed professionals. If I help anybody, we get compensated, right? So that's one way we get paid, just like a dentist. If he pulls a tooth, he's gonna get paid. Mm-hmm. The second way that the dentist gets paid is because he has people working in his office. He has other dentists working in his office, right? So, boom, those dentists, when they pull teeth, it's benefiting his business, right? The same way it is in our business, okay? We have associates right here in California, and they work with us. We train, we mentor, and we help develop them as well to run their business, just like the dentist, right? Third way, the dentist said, just like with my other 2 offices across Southern California, we also get paid when we open up different distribution centers. So like I said, my wife and I, we're licensed in 8 different states. So we have 8 different distribution centers, right? In the past, it was a little difficult, right? But with Zoom,
right?
It don't matter.
We're within the 50 states, including Canada and Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I don't care where you are. Anywhere in North America, in Puerto Rico, we got you. You can sit here and we can talk and we can have training and we can have not only am I training you, but we're also getting trained by leaders in the industry. We're getting the same training. If there's a product provider that comes on, he's training everybody across the United States. It has just accelerated our ability to grow. So these things are what the dentist was looking at, and he jumped on board, right? And he says, wait a minute, it costs how much? to actually start my own business in the financial services industry and get mentored and trained and developed by $100. He said, man, he took that, he threw that down and he says, let's go. He started, he got licensed in the state of California, and he is continuing to build now he's building into finance. Okay. So now he understands there's a lot of, even dentists, right? Don't have financial literacy. He's spreading that throughout his own offices, and they're telling others, and so on, and so on, and so on. And that's why his business is growing. That's the vision that he saw, and that's exactly what he's doing right now. So business owners, a lot of time, let's sit down and see where you are. And if you're open to exploring other opportunities, definitely like to show you exactly how our business is built, how our system is run. Like you said, some of the pitfalls that you have. I have a back office shop that takes care of all my back office. Okay. I have all types of material from product providers that I can sit down and have for my clients. I wear the hats for many different agencies, whether it be investments, insurance, retirement accounts, 529 college saving plan, homeowners insurance. I mean, it's just anything under the financial services umbrella. Okay. Here's the deal. Just one question. All right. That's a lot of information, but if you knew somebody who had all that information, right? Who you could call at, don't call me at 2:00 in the morning, but who could call late at night and early in the morning, who could help you out. Wouldn't that be a valuable person?
I think that's definitely someone you want on your team. And then a lot of what you were saying is very important. And for business owners, that is one of the things. You're always trying to find additional income sources are always super important. So besides knowing your own numbers, like being able to add to your numbers, but in this way is something that, especially in the service industry, I could see that being of huge value. So that is an amazing opportunity. And I think that you absolutely would want that person on the phone, just like if you had a problem with your business or you had something that you had going on with marketing, then you'd want to have somebody else's number. And so I think that type of team environment and really having the people around you to help the team of coaches is important, right? Yes. Your business and personal care team is essential. So even if it's a personal trainer to help you with your health, and it's your, financial specialist to help with your finances, or it's your business coach to help you navigate through some of the business and marketing things that you go on. I think that is important. And so I love that. So definitely sit down and get the written financial needs assessment. And then also it sounds like, get the right people on your team as an opportunity looking into, expanding your current offerings, as this sounds like an awesome opportunity. So with that being said, we need to let the people know how to, how can they learn more about the opportunity? How can they get their financial needs assessment? And how can people find you? So that would be like, let's let the people know where you're at. What's the best way that people can get in contact?
Well, they can actually contact us on Linktree under Lisa Corsair. That's Lisa. Last name is Corsair. So if you're dissatisfied with your current career or you're looking to make a change, you can reach out to us there. Also on that link, you'll find more information about us, and you'll be able to schedule a call with us. Okay.
Awesome.
And as far as me, heck, just Google me. Hariel Corsair. And just, hey, I'm everywhere. I'm trying to be out there, or even text me, give me a call. Open 785514862. Trying to be seen. Okay.
Awesome.
So.
Well, the other great thing is like I said, I'm partnering with this incredible couple to actually bring the audience. We're working on an absolutely free opportunity. I don't know if we call it a challenge, but it really is a way for you to identify and work on some of the things that have been talked about in this episode, in this show. And I encourage you all, I'll have a link wherever this video is for you to go ahead and join. And what you'll get is every single day, you'll get different wealth and financial tips on how to, really understand and make positive changes in your finances. And this content was, done by the Corsairs, and I'm coming alongside to partner, and I'm so excited about it. I think that this is very important for business owners right now. Like I said, if anything that this past year has taught us, or these past couple years, is that you have to have a plan, and you have to know how to plan for the unexpected. And you can't, whatever you thought was permanent and whatever you thought was, a sure thing is not. I watched several of my friends' full industries that they had been in forever just crash. And I had seen people that had worked 12 and 15 years to build the business of their dreams, that they could no longer go to work. And there was no plan, and they're relying heavily on government assistance, and that's if the government wants to pop through or not. And then now the world's opening, and so the government assistance will probably be cut off, but there's no lead time. Like, okay, start right now. Well, at that point, the debt is now there, right? And people are going to start calling and asking, well, it's over now, so I need all my money. And so where do you get that money from? So right now, while they still maybe help, is the time, and the immediately is the time to get the help, to the financial needs assessment, and figure out what is going on, and start working towards your dreams. So I can't press enough how important this is. And so that is why we are teaming up, and that's why you should join this 14-day focus and just get the free content and understand the power behind the knowledge. And a lot of the things that came up when Hariel was giving the list of all the things, I'm like, that's a lot of stuff. But you don't know what you need and what you don't need if it's insurance, or if it's like all the things that were called upon. And we don't get the education. Like, we don't. In high school, nobody's teaching us this. They don't even teach us how you balance a checking account. So you have to go out and grab financial literacy. You have to go out and grab knowledge and information. And I mean, you hate to say it, but people of color, we have it even worse. And it's just not, you don't have the generational wealth the same way. And so the information isn't as readily available. So, take full advantage of it being offered right now, and, get on the right side of this. And I'm going to follow my own advice in that as well. So I want to say thank you so much. This was an amazing time, so much great information. And I know the audience will walk away overwhelmed, which means then they'll have to join our focus and give you a call to figure out what the heck's going on. But it was all good stuff.
Awesome. Yes.
I'm sorry, before we end, I wanted to add, our services are also free 99.
Yeah, that's true.
They're complimentary.
Awesome. Yeah.
Okay. And we work with people from all walks of life. So
yeah,
and I appreciate that. Yeah. Awesome.
And also, I wanted to talk to you because you were talking about the health insurance, right? For your employees. An expert that I know who, because I'm licensed in life and health insurance, and she's an expert, and also an expert at evaluating some of the tax advantages of for the company when you have the health insurance on the employees and stuff. So like to talk to you about that as well.
Yeah, I mean, we have to talk, because when we started this conversation, I mean, I had a bunch of personal, if you follow me at all, you know that we lost our grandmother, our matriarch, and the whole time we were running this business, we were caring for her. And so the business has always been under duress. And so this is the first time that the business is not under duress. We've of course lost someone, so now we got a new thing dealing with grief. But it also is important to talk about finances, because she was a woman that outlived her life insurance.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
Whole nother episode, a whole nother conversation. Yeah. We'll probably need to circle back and have more of these conversations, to be honest with you, because it was so meaty. But we didn't know you could do that. And so she was devastated at having put so much money in, knowing that her burial expenses were going to be taken care of, only for them to say, oh, you lived too long. 93 was too old. So
oh my gosh.
And so, hello. So she taught everybody great money management. So we're a well money managed group. But when you talk about things you just don't know, how are we supposed to know that? I just don't know how we were supposed to know that. So anyway, this is why it's important to take charge of it, and
yes.
like why you need to call, this couple and and book it, because you don't know what you don't know. And
Amen.
those types of things are devastating things to find out in a weird way. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, I'm sick. Like, oh, you don't have any insurance because you're too old. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
life insurance is the whole point.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And a lot of people don't even know what they have. They invest in life insurance and
Then
they
they-
don't know what they have.
right.
So that's something else that we do. We actually sit down and we would review
Yeah.
whatever policies you have to make sure that you understand them.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So all that stuff is important. And but like I said, we haven't been devastated by it, but you don't want to wait to be devastated by it.
Exactly.
And so again, I thank you so much for your time. This was really, really a
Yes.
wealth of information. And all it does to me is reemphasize to everybody to make sure that you join the focus and really pay attention to what goes on our socials and join the
Yes.
newsletter, because you can't really, like, 30 minutes isn't enough to explain everything that needs to be explained. And this stuff is a lot to take in. And
Yes.
so we're going to spoon feed it to you over the next few months, and to really help you find success. And then, of course, give you opportunity to sit down and get your personalized plan, because that's the one that counts. I can give you all the information in the world, but the one that's unique to you is what's important. And that's why you need to book your consultation. So
That's
I'm
right.
going to, yeah, so we're going to wrap up, but I thank you two so much. This was amazing. And we'll be in more conversations, because that's what partners do. And so we'll continue
Yeah.
Teamwork.
we'll continue to provide value for, business owners and just people that are ready to receive this message. And thank you again. And I look forward to continue working with you both.
Yes.
All
Thank you
right.
for having us. Likewise.
Hey, thank you. So I'll see y'all next time for our next episode. And like I said, you guys got to get involved. You got to get it together. It's important for us all. All right. Thank you.